Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the Grey. Today's video, we're going to talk Warhammer, the Old World. There's been a lot of chat in the community about all the stuff coming for the Old World, with the brand new stuff coming for Cathay, in Warhammer Total War, as long as we're seeing some new Kizlev stuff, and I'm particularly invested in Kizlev at the moment. But today's video, we're going to have a little bit of fun. We're going to chat about 10 armies I'd love to see brought to life in Warhammer the Old World. Now, these will be a mix of sort of parts of armies, full ranges, some things that were maybe allied factions in the game, or some of them entirely new things that never got a proper update. So with that all said, let's get cracking on. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you want to see army-wise in Warhammer the Old World. What parts of the world do you want to see explored more? Number one, let's get this out of the way nice and quick. It is, of course, Kizlev. It should come as no surprise. I'm really excited. We're looking to get a Warhammer Fantasy Kizlev army on the channel for you all to enjoy in Warhammer Fantasy 8th edition while we wait for the Old World to come out. But Kizlev is definitely one of the armies that is rapidly just intriguing me more and more. I've started looking up. We've looked at the army book from the 6th edition Ally Supplement. We're going to make a full Kizlev army. I'm really excited. I can't wait to see this fully expanded with all these different types of units we haven't currently seen on the tabletop with rules. Number two, and well, Total War. This should come as no surprise that the other major thing I'd love to see is, of course, Cathay. We'll get these two out nice the way because I'm pretty sure these were blatantly obvious that I would like to see them on the channel, but Grand Cathay just has looked so amazing. I can't wait to see how this is made and represented on the tabletop in Warhammer the Old World. I think it is just a really glorious look of an army. Be really cool to see everything they've shown in Total War on the tabletop. I mean, I'm not much of a computer games person, but all the stuff in there just gets me excited for miniatures to play games on the tabletop with. Can't wait to see what we can get for Grand Cathay. Those dragon characters are going to be amazing. Number three, Arabi. Now, this is mostly because I used to love the Al-Mukhtar and his Desert Dogs of War unit available. But we know Arabi is a full nation. We obviously had the Errantry Wars and all of that around that time. Maybe this is set in a time period where we can actually get the immortal inhabitants of the deserts of Arabi. This would be a really cool addition, I think, to the game. It's something much like Grand Cathay and Kizlev and all that that's not really been explored, and we know a little bit about it. So for me, this is a definite thing I would love to see in a fully expanded realm. You could really have some cool and rich lore there. I mean, there's the coast where you've obviously got all the Dark Elf sorcerers that got captured by Nagash to learn all the dark secrets, and there's just so much cool stuff for them. Number four, the Amazons. For me, this I remember seeing all the way back in a White Dwarf when the Lustria campaign was kicking off. I love the Amazon miniatures. You got the cool rules for the Amazon sorceress you could ally into your force, which is really cool. But I always loved the idea of the Amazon army. There was a really cool custom Dogs of War army inside, and we know they exist inside the Warhammer world. So it'd be really interesting to see these humans that are sort of tied to the old ones in the Lizardmen and how exactly they work. I'd really love to get some more narrative and lore and talk to us about how and why these Amazons exist inside the Warhammer world. Number five, Nippen. This, for me, the canon is what I remember of Nippen. I remember seeing a very old model for Nippen in the game. Maybe it was a fake model, but I still remember seeing a canon that looked very much like this is out of the Ravening Hordes book. And we know a little bit of the narrative. They're sort of like ninja, or at least that's where Clan Eshin went when the Skaven clans broke up, and that's where they went to go learn how to be assassins and sort of copy the culture of Nippen. So it'd be really interesting to see exactly what that culture of Nippen actually is in the Warhammer. Number six, the Norse. I would love to see the Norse get a full army with some new war mammoths and all their amazing creatures. We've obviously got Wulfric the Wanderer that we know is a Norskin, and we never really got the full Marauder-style army properly. I'd love to see it come and be a proper thing and have these marauding hordes come and lay siege to the Empire, to Kizlev, and to all the other realms sailing around to Bretonnia. I remember reading Knights of Bretonnia, and it was one of the coolest books of those giant battles with the Norse armies at the start. Really enjoyed it. For me, this would just be a really cool addition to the Chaos and give them something a little different. Number 7, Middenheim and the Cult of Ulrich, the White Wolf, the Knights of the White Wolf, the Teutonic Guard, all of that stuff. I would love to see brought out for the Empire. It'd be a great little addition. It was really, really popular when it came out in Storm of Chaos. And I'd love to see more of that sort of stuff. I remember getting the Archlector and the Ulrich Priest and all of that sort of stuff from my Empire army back in the day. I'd love to see that sort of stuff come back and expand upon that lore and that part of the Empire's history. I mean, talking about the god that Sigmar prayed to himself. Number 8, Zombie Pirates of the Vampire Coast. This is another army that currently I am really being drawn to into something we may bring to the channel. I've looked up the old army list. For me, this was always one of the coolest things. I remember getting the army list and Luther Harkin coming out in the Lustria campaign. And I remember, the little brief bits of information you got about Luther Harkin as one of the Mortarchs in the End Times, but this would be really cool. I think what they did in Warhammer Total War, they took it and they added that little bit extra to it with the giant ship constructs. Really made it into a full-scale army, and I'd love to see that become a full-fledged thing on the tabletop. Number 9, Southlands and Dragon Isles Lizardmen. For me, Titchy Itchy and his Horned One Riders was an amazing thing for Lizardmen. I love the idea of the Southlands and the Dragon Isles Lizardmen as well. These sort of feral, savage Lizardmen that don't have any slan to control them and sort of reverted down to their, I guess, very, bestial natures of the creatures that they are. For me, it's always one of the coolest things, and I love to see models actually representing that. Not so much giving us, the sort of normal-looking lizardmen that we have now, but give us these feral-looking lizardmen. Horned One Riders and Titchy Itchy are a must in there, though. Number 10, Skagi. Now, for those who don't know, this is the humans and mostly Norskins that lived in the New World of Warhammer Fantasy. These were the first and longest of the human inhabitants of the New World. Now, this isn't the Amazons. We don't know that they exist. I mean, people think these are the longest lived humans, but they're not. The Amazons are, but Skagi's a massive settlement of humans in the New World. It had some cool rules here and there in the Lustria campaign. I mean, at this point, guessing on which ones I've put in this list, you should probably be figuring out what sort of era I was really into fantasy in and getting into fantasy. It was the Lustria campaign time was my really big prime of fantasy when I really started getting into the game. And for that reason, I've got a lot of them in the list, but Skagi definitely stands out as something cool. I think we could definitely have added in this mix of Empire and mercenaries and Chileans and Nestilians and Norskins all sort of living together in this one harmonious community is an interesting sort of thing. But anyway, that's my list of 10 things. I'd love to hear what everyone would like to see in Warhammer Fantasy. And, we all want Bretonnians, we all want Tomb Kings. But what are those ones that weren't explored, those bits and pieces that you maybe would like to see get some recognition? Well, that's it for the video. We hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our little fine community here at Sinful Gaming, you can do so by following the link in the video's description to our Discord server. Lastly, if you'd like to help support the channel more, you can do so by following the links to either our Patreon or YouTube members down in the description of the video. It goes a massive way to helping the channel continue to produce the content that it does. We'd like to give a special shout out to all our patrons and YouTube members, so a special thank you to our Patreons: Christian Weir, James Soren, Greenskins Gaming, AJC, Kenny Lyle, Outer and Shop First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising Ape, Cure Dynamic, Agu, Anthony B, Anton Nilsson, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, and Samuel. And a shout out to our YouTube members: Green Roots Gaming, Kenton Young, Chris Rollis, Ronya, Vinny, Lochloric, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Revenar, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Sean Scott, and Ariana Edwards. Finally, a last special shout out to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork for the channel that you see pictured here, and to Xmorphic, who does all the amazing background work on our Discord server for us. Thank you both, you do amazing work. That's it though. Please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Once again, stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.